Welcome to MrCrimeCast, the podcast where we look into true crime stories. Today, we're diving into a case that shocked the world: the unbelievable deception of Belle Gibson. She was an internet wellness star, a self-proclaimed cancer survivor who claimed she had beaten the disease through diet and natural remedies. But there was just one problem: she never had cancer. Netflix recently dramatized this scandal in their series Cider Vinegar, but how much of it is fact, and how much was dramatized? Did they capture the full truth of Belle's deception, or did they tweak the story for entertainment? Let's break it down. Imagine this. It's the early 2010s, and social media is booming. Health and wellness influencers are rising in popularity, and one name stands out: Belle Gibson. She's charismatic, she's inspiring, and she has an incredible story. She claims that she was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer and given months to live. But instead of following traditional medicine, she says she turned to clean eating and natural therapies, which miraculously cured her. Her story resonates with people. She's seen as a beacon of hope, proving that food can heal anything. Her app, the Whole Pantry, is a massive success. A cookbook deal follows, and her influence continues to grow. But behind the scenes, cracks start to appear. There are whispers that her timeline doesn't add up. People start questioning why she never provided medical records to back up her claims. Then, in 2015, investigative journalists dig deep, and what they find is shocking. Belle Gibson never had cancer. The entire story was fabricated. Even worse, she had promised to donate proceeds from her app and book sales to charities. That never happened either. Her followers, many of whom were struggling with real illnesses, felt utterly betrayed. Some had even abandoned their medical treatments to follow her so-called cancer-curing diet. The impact of her lies wasn't just emotional, it was potentially life-threatening. So how does Netflix's Cider Vinegar handle this shocking scandal? The show follows Belle Gibson's character, played by Kaitlyn Dever, and does a decent job of sticking to the facts. It highlights how she gained a massive following, how she built her brand, and how everything unraveled once people started asking tough questions. However, Cider Vinegar isn't a strict retelling of Belle Gibson's story. While her character is central, the show introduces a fictional character, Milla Blake. Milla is another wellness influencer, but her story takes a different path. Unlike Belle, who knowingly scammed people, Milla is actually sick. She genuinely believes in the power of alternative medicine and wants to inspire others. As the series progresses, Milla's condition worsens, illustrating the heartbreaking consequences of misinformation, especially for those who are already vulnerable. Milla's storyline draws inspiration from real-life wellness blogger Jessica Ainscough, an Australian woman who was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer and decided to reject traditional medicine in favor of alternative therapies. Ainscough became known as the Wellness Warrior, building an online following and advocating for holistic healing before tragically passing away in 2015. The show mirrors elements of Ainscough's journey, including her reliance on controversial treatments and the pressures of being a public figure in the wellness space. Milla's story adds an emotional weight to the show. It's not just about one fraudster deceiving people. It's about how misinformation in the wellness industry spreads and affects real lives. Milla is not lying. She is a true believer who becomes a victim of the very system she tries to advocate for. Her character represents the people who sincerely believe in alternative medicine and get caught in the crossfire between genuine hope and harmful deception. By including Milla's character, Cider Vinegar expands its scope. It's no longer just about Belle Gibson. It's about the entire wellness industry and the blurred lines between personal belief and profit-driven manipulation. The show explores themes of influencer culture, the ethics of online health claims, and how easy it is for misinformation to go viral. However, the inclusion of Milla's storyline has not been without controversy. Jessica Ainscough's father has publicly condemned Cider Vinegar for its portrayal of his daughter, arguing that the series distorts her legacy and exploits her story for dramatic effect. He has criticized Netflix for failing to consult the family and for inaccurately depicting the choices his daughter made, suggesting that the show sensationalizes her battle with cancer rather than presenting an honest reflection of her experiences. This criticism raises important ethical questions. Where is the line between dramatization and exploitation? How much artistic license should filmmakers take when dealing with real-life tragedies? While apple cider vinegar effectively highlights the dangers of wellness misinformation, its blending of fact and fiction makes it difficult for viewers to discern reality from dramatization. Despite this controversy, the show succeeds in exposing the dark side of influencer culture and the wellness industry. Milla's tragic arc demonstrates how belief in alternative medicine can sometimes stem from desperation, manipulation, and societal pressure rather than outright fraud. Another area where the show takes creative liberties is in Belle's downfall. In real life, Belle Gibson's exposure happened quickly and publicly. Once the media started digging, her empire collapsed almost overnight. In Apple Cider Vinegar, the unraveling of Belle's deception is more gradual, stretched out for dramatic effect. This makes for better television. This isn't just a story about one woman lying on the internet. It's about the massive, unchecked power of influencers. Social media gives anyone a platform, and with enough followers, they can sell almost anything. Miracle diets, wellness trends, even false cures. And that's exactly what Belle Gibson did. She wasn't just selling a brand, she was selling false hope to people desperate for answers. The Netflix show does a good job of showing how easily misinformation can spread. But in reality, the consequences were even worse. Some of Belle's followers genuinely believed they could cure their cancer with her methods. They delayed or even refused proper medical treatment because of her influence. That's the real danger of wellness misinformation. It doesn't just deceive people, it puts their lives at risk. So what happened to Belle Gibson? After being exposed in 2015, she faced massive backlash. In 2017, the Australian government fined her $410,000 for misleading the public. Reports indicate that she has not fulfilled her financial penalties, and Australian authorities continue to pursue legal avenues to recover the owed amount. The release of apple cider vinegar has brought renewed attention to her case, prompting discussions about the effectiveness of current regulations in preventing such fraudulent activities and holding individuals accountable. And now, with apple cider vinegar bringing her name back into the conversation, we have to ask, how do we stop history from repeating itself? What can be done to hold influencers accountable? Should social media platforms and streaming services be responsible for fact-checking content that could impact people's health? That's a wrap for today's episode of MrCrimeCast. What do you think? Did apple cider vinegar do a good job telling Belle Gibson's story, or did it take too many creative liberties? Let's keep the conversation going. Find us on social media and share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more deep dives coming your way, where truth meets deception, and the real story is always more twisted than fiction. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and stay safe.